Oh, buongiorno, and welcome to another exciting edition of Meet Your Neighbor. My name is Ron Falconi. I live here in the city of Brunswick. Yes, Brunswick, one of the top 25 towns in America for an affordable home, according to CNN Money, and one of the top 10 towns in America for families, according to Family Circle magazine. I live here in Brunswick with my family in the Fairway subdivision of our great city, and I had this idea back in the fall of 2006, where I wanted to invite local politicians and some business leaders here in our community so that all of you can meet your neighbor. We have a very special guest today. He is a politician and a business leader here in the Brunswick area, and his name is Mike Esber. Mike, welcome to the studios.
Welcome, Ron. Thank you.
Mike, I know you're a Brunswick Hills Township Trustee, and I wanted to welcome you here today.
Thank you.
And I was wondering, Mike, can you tell us something about yourself that not everyone knows?
Well, there's not a lot about me that most people don't know because I work a lot of hours, and if I'm not working, I'm taking care of stuff in the township.
Sure.
So when I have time, I try to be by myself and take care of household stuff and,
Absolutely.
you know, just catch up. You know how that is.
Hey, Mike, where do you live?
I live on Forest Grove in Brunswick Hills.
Okay. And how long have you lived there?
A little over 10 years.
Okay. Mike, can you describe your family for us?
I'm married.
Okay.
I have 2 children from a previous marriage and 1 stepson who is in the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
And matter of fact, he's up for being a major in January.
Wow, that's great.
And my other 2 boys, one lives in the Brunswick Hills area, and my other son lives in Lakewood, and I have 1 granddaughter.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Hey, Mike, can you tell us how long have you owned Michael's Mini Mart there on Pearl?
It was 35 years in November.
Okay.
So we're starting our 36th year.
35 years.
And I've been at my location now since 1987.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty long time.
Right.
How did you decide to get into the gas station business?
Well, the gas station was new. I didn't start with the gas station. I started with a small convenience store.
Oh, okay.
And I was over on Beverly Hills Drive next door to Bianca's restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And in 1985, the property next door came up for sale, and we purchased it.
Oh, okay.
In 87, we built and opened.
Oh, that's great.
And the gasoline was put in probably 8 or 9 years ago, and we added propane after that.
Oh,
so.
That's pretty good. Mike, what's a typical day for you there?
Well, every morning we have our crew of, we're going to solve all the political. You have probably 5 or 6 guys that are there every morning, and we have our coffee, and we decide how we're going to solve every political problem in the United States. So that's a typical morning. And then during the day you have your deliveries, and you try and catch up on, cleaning and all your other products. So it's a busy day. It keeps you busy.
I can imagine.
Right.
When you're not at the store, or when you're not doing stuff for the township, what are some of the things you like to do for fun?
Well, I enjoy sports. I think everybody does. It's something just to relieve a little outlet for everybody. You can watch it and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
I enjoy taking care of my yard. That's nice. Where I live is roughly 2 acres, so it's kind of nice there.
It's wonderful. Mike, how did you get involved in politics?
Well, I live on a street that was not plowed on a regular basis, and a lot of times it was done late at night. Oh. But myself and my wife get up very early to go to work, and it was something that I really believed needed to be corrected in the township. Okay.
And that's how it all started.
Yeah, that's how it started. That's how you get involved in things. I mean, you see something that you don't think's right, and you jump in and hope to make it better.
Take action.
Right.
Mike, in the past I've had a county commissioner on the show. I've had a juvenile court magistrate, and to kind of describe what their jobs are, what their jobs entail. Can you tell the people watching in Brunswick or Brunswick Hills specifically, or people watching on the internet, what exactly does a Brunswick Hills Township Trustee do?
Well, we're not unsimilar with council, but we actually pay all the bills. We have a fiscal officer, Lori Henry, and she writes all the checks out. We sign all the checks. Okay. We decide almost every major matter. We were involved in picking a new chief.
Sure.
We added more hours for our fire department. We now do 7 to midnight, 7 days a week.
Okay.
There's not a lot that you don't do as a trustee. If someone calls, you try and take care of them.
Sure.
You try to make everybody happy, but that's an impossibility. I don't care who you are.
I know, I've tried doing that myself.
It doesn't work, does it?
No.
But the trustees do about everything. We each have a department. I've had the service department for the last 2 years.
Okay.
It's your job to make sure when they have problems, you help them solve it.
Okay. Mike, what term are you in right now? Your first term, second term?
This is my first term,
Your first
yes.
term, okay. Why do you still want to be a trustee?
Well, the accomplishments that have been made over the last 4 years to help the community have just been tremendous.
Okay.
And the group of people that I've worked with have been tremendous, and I want to continue to work with them.
That's good. Mike, can you refresh everyone's memory? How many trustees are there?
There's 3.
There's 3, okay. And you and another candidate, they're running for?
Christina.
Christina.
Are running for trustee this year.
Okay.
There's 2 spots.
There's 2 spots this year, and then in 2 years there'll be 1, right?
There'll be 1 spot.
Okay. Mike, what do you see as some of the more important issues facing the township right now?
Well, I got to believe finances are the problem for everybody.
Sure.
We're getting cut everywhere you receive money is being cut. We've been very lucky. The township has actually increased in what we've had set aside. We're very fiscally responsible with each of our departments.
Okay.
They all have carryovers.
Okay. Mike, what are, say, one of the top 3 things that you would do if you were to be reelected for your next term?
Well, having the service department, there's roads that need to be finished.
Okay.
We have a project over on Kingsbury that has to be finished. We got some federal money for.
Great.
And those are things that really need to be finished. It's going to be tougher and tougher, I'm sure you know, trying to do finances.
Sure.
I mean, the money being cut, it's going to be
Yes.
real tough for all of us, I think.
Yeah. Mike, what role, if any, do you think regionalism play in the township politics?
Well, I don't think it's just townships. I think it's going to be everywhere, because if we don't move that way,
Yeah.
it's going to be very hard with money being cut to continue the services that we provide.
Sure.
So I think we're all having to look that way.
Sure. Mike, for every guest I've had on the show, I like to play a game of fill in the blank.
Okay.
When I was a child, I blank.
Well, I played and had a lot of fun. I don't think I was concerned with a whole lot, but I always wanted to own my own business, and
Okay.
I've been very lucky to do that
Well, where'd you grow up?
in Parma.
In the Parma area. Okay,
Yes.
That's great. The person I most admire is blank.
What would have to be my father.
Okay, why?
My dad provided for 8 children, and he always taught us that he would rather give while he's alive and enjoy it with us
Okay.
than have us fight over when he passes away. I mean, that was
True.
something my dad believed in. He worked and my mom raised us. I mean, not that I have anything less from my mother or my brothers.
Sure.
But Dad was definitely an influence in all our lives, I think.
That's great. Well, what about the one place I want to visit is blank?
Well, I finally went there. I visited my wife in North Carolina. She's been down there almost 4 years, so I got to see my other house.
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
Where in North Carolina?
She's in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
She works for a bank.
Oh, that's wonderful. When I retire, I blank.
I don't think about retirement right now.
Okay.
I enjoy what I do. I've probably got an ideal job, and
That's good.
yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Probably get to meet all kinds of people.
Absolutely. And when you listen to people, you find out that whatever you think is a problem isn't. Because there's real problems out there for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean-
Absolutely. Mike, can you give any neighborly advice to people who are watching in Brunswick Hills right now?
Well, I would say never hesitate to do what you want. Always take chances, the right chances. Be educated about what you do and make sure you get an education. The job market's terrible out there. We all know that.
Sure.
And if you don't have an education, you're not going to succeed in life today.
Okay. Mike Esber, Brunswick Hills Township Trustee, thank you for coming down to the studios today.
Ron, thank you very much. Take care.
My name is Ron Falconi. I am the host of Meet Your Neighbor. I just wanted to thank Brunswick Hills Township Trustee Mike Esber for coming down to the studios today. He just wanted all of you out there watching in Brunswick Hills, or people watching on the internet right now, to go out there and meet your neighbor. I am Ron Falconi. I'm signing off. Arrivederci.